He's number one. He's number one. He's number one. He's number one. Welcome back. Hi, it's Richard, and I'm back for another video, and I'm back today to talk about Paul McCartney again, because Paul McCartney's new album, The Boys of Dungeon Lane, has gone number one. He is number one again. You can't stop Paul. For all the haters who bitch about Paul now, and I'm not talking about people who are honest. I'm honest about Paul's voice. I say his voice has some bad days, and there's days where he doesn't sound good, but there's been a ton of people bitching about Paul now and being mean to Paul and hating on Paul. I've never done that. I've never trashed Paul. I've never trashed him. But all the people who hate on Paul, and you can't stop him. He's number one again. His album has just gone number one in the UK, on the UK charts. Now, I don't know where it's placed at in the American charts and where it's placed at in the streaming services, but it has gone number one in the UK, and apparently this is Paul's 24th number one overall. I'm assuming some of those were with the Beatles too. But this is just incredible, and I'm so happy. A man who is almost 84 years old, he'll be 84 in less than 2 weeks. His new album has gone number one in the UK, and I can't wait to see how it does in the American charts and on the streaming services. I said in my last two videos I made about this album, I definitely think that this album deserves to be number one. I think that is a great album. I think that it's one of the best that Paul has done in years. It is an amazing album. I think this is probably his best he's done since Memory Almost Full and New. To me, those should have been number one albums too, but I don't think they were. I think Egypt Station did make it to number one, and that one I was like, I don't think that should have been number one. But it did make number one, and McCartney 3 did make number one, I think, for like two minutes. But this one definitely deserves to be number one. I keep saying how phenomenal I think this is for a man who is almost 84 years old. I think this is amazing. The songs on here are great for the most part. Paul sounds really good on here for the most part, except for maybe a few songs, but all the trouble that Paul has been having with his voice, he does sound good on here. Lyrically, it lacks a little bit for the most part. There's a lot of repetitive stuff on this album, but then there are a few songs that are really good lyrically, like Mama Gets By, Salesman Saint, let's see what else, Ripples on the Pond. I like The Days We Left Behind, even though I don't like that song. I think it's one of the best things Paul has written in years. So, I just can't get over how good I think this album is. I think that it's an amazing album and definitely worthy of a number one. I just can't believe Paul, my hero, has got a number one album at almost 84 years old. And there are going to be people who say, yeah, but he bought this number one, which technically I'm not going to disagree with you with, because he put out all those different variants, like 15 different variants of this album. But you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm just so happy that Paul's new album has hit number one. Like I said, don't know where it's going to be at in the American charts. I hope it places well. I'd love to see it hit at least the top 10 in America. I don't know where it's going to be at in the streaming services, but it is number one overall in the UK, and I think that's, they said that with everything, with CD sales, with vinyl sales, it is a legit number one album. So, like I said, I think this is an amazing accomplishment for Paul McCartney, who is going to be 84 in less than 2 weeks. Like I said, I think this is an amazing album, and I'm just so happy for Paul. I love the man so much. And, well, I forget what I was going to say here. Yeah, and I don't I don't know. There might be. I don't know if there's going to be another edition that comes out with bonus tracks or not. People are saying that's probably going to happen too. I don't think he didn't do that with McCartney 3. I don't know if he'll do that here. But yeah, I definitely think this album deserves to be number one. And congratulations to Paul McCartney, and congratulations to the great Andrew Watt, whose production was great on this record. So, I mean, like I said, you can't keep Paul McCartney down, and you can't keep Michael Jackson down. They keep, I mean, Paul keeps doing it and keeps making great music, and he did it again. Like I said, he's had some days where his voice hasn't been great, but you can't complain about this album. This album is amazing, and I love it, and I'm so happy that Paul put it out. I think it was well worth the wait. We waited almost 5 years for this thing. I think Paul started working on this during COVID, and I could tell he definitely wanted this to be perfect. And I think if this is Paul's final album he ever makes, although he did just do a interview with a morning show, and they did ask him point blank, is there ever a point where you start thinking about hanging up the guitar and just, I guess, basically retiring or start making music? And he basically said no. So if Paul stays healthy, I'm assuming we may get another album. But if this is Paul's last album, I think this is a great one to go out on. I think it's an amazing, wonderful album. Like I said, there's a few tracks where you can tell his voice is aged, but it doesn't sound bad. Except for Days We Left Behind is the only one on here I can actually say that doesn't sound good. The rest of them, even though his voice is strained a little bit and it's aged, there's never a minute on here where I cringe. Except for maybe the Days We Left Behind. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to do a quick video, come back here and congratulate my hero, Sir Paul McCartney, on his new #1 album. Well deserving. Paul McCartney's new album, The Boys of Dungeon Lane. Paul McCartney is #1 again in 2026. Congratulations, Paul.